The gold price has skyrocketed over the past year, even if it's down a bit today. More than a third of Germany's gold reserves are held in New York. Now, with growing tension in transatlantic relations, there are calls to get those hundreds of tons of gold to Germany. Deutsche Welle correspondent Chiponda Chimbelu joins us now from Berlin. Chiponda, g'day. So what's driving this discussion?
Good day, Joe. Well, Germany has the world's second largest gold reserves after the United States. And the calls to bring the gold to Germany aren't just linked to President Trump's unpredictability and the ongoing transatlantic rift. There are also the calls for Germany's gold reserves in New York to be repatriated because of fears around the independence of the U.S. Federal Reserve, the central bank system in the United States. Now, President Trump has repeatedly attacked U.S. Fed Chair Jerome Powell, and more than a third of Germany's gold reserves, like you mentioned, so close to 37%, are stored in the vaults of the Federal Reserve Bank of New York. So the fears over the independence of the U.S. Federal Reserve are also very much linked to how Germans feel about storing their gold in New York.
So how did so much of Germany's gold end up being stored in the US?
Joe, there are historical reasons which have a lot to do with the global economic order after the Second World War. Now, the Federal Republic of Germany had zero gold reserves after the Allies confiscated Nazi Germany's gold. So post-war Germany had its gold reserves stored in France, the UK, and the United States, partly because of fears of a Soviet invasion, and also because it was easier to have the gold in the markets, in the foreign currency markets where it is traded. So Germany's gold reserves were stored in Paris, London, and New York. Now, since the end of the Cold War, there have been calls to bring that gold to Germany. And between 2013 and 2017, Germany's central bank, the Bundesbank, transferred several hundred tons of gold from New York and Paris to Frankfurt. And that is why just over half of Germany's gold reserves are now in the country.
Yeah, and so given the ongoing debate, will Germany be transferring its remaining gold reserves from the US?
A government spokesperson said that repatriation of gold from the U.S. isn't under consideration right now. But the discussion about bringing Germany's gold reserve to the country is probably the loudest it's ever been. The record gold prices you mentioned there obviously mean that Germany's gold reserves in the U.S. are now actually worth a whopping 162 billion euros. And while the concerns over the risk of storing that amount of gold in the U.S. could be justified, the fact is that the timing of moving it may not be great. And there are some economists here who believe that it would only contribute to souring the relationship between Berlin and Washington, which of course isn't that great. So it is highly unlikely that we will be seeing a repatriation of Germany's gold reserves or remaining gold reserves in the U.S., at least for now.
OK, we'll leave there. Chiponda Chimbelu in Berlin. Now here's Alicia Barry with Finance News.